Just relieving a bit of stress, I think.
Homebrew Wednesday. Yeah, I got to wing it for another week. You got to put up with me again. I've been busy today, and I got a bit thirsty as well. Been outside doing a little rinsing job. More about that later. I copped one of these from work. Me thinking it was an American beer. Well, brewed in the EU. Naughty, naughty. Come on. Anyway, they got a good excuse. They lost their brewery in Hurricane Katrina. Wasn't quite devastated, but at the time everyone went in and nicked all the copper fittings, they finished them. So I think in America they get another brewery to continue making it, and somewhere in the EU it's brewed, or somewhere in the UK. So who knows? When they don't admit to what country they're brewing it in, that always makes me a little bit. We've got the dogs having a wrestling match next door. But, yeah, unfortunately they lost their brewery in Katrina. Obviously America's not had much luck recently with the Oklahoma incident. So thoughts out to everyone there. But that puts me in a dilemma because that bottle is empty. However, staying with an American theme, and I know Mr. Clements Homebrew has still got a few days left on his sobriety. Cheers for the tips, Kevin, on the beers. Hope you didn't cry too much when you see the video where I work. I bought this one before, your little beer shopping list for me. I got this one. So, let's crack this one open. Because I'm bloody thirsty. And now I've lost my bottle opener. No, I got it. I'm going to have to fall back on the emergency one. Good hiss. Strange noise in the background is either something bubbling away. Yes, I put a brew on. But you'll see that in a minute. Let's get this bad boy out of the bottle. Into the glass. And onto my palate. Oh yes, you can smell them away, boys. 4 hops in this one. And I haven't got my glasses on, so I can't tell you what they are. But they're American hops, like should look Cascade. Oh yes, definitely American IPA. I was using some gold, East Kent Goldings and some Vuggles last night. Well, I'm going to put that in another video. Anyway, it's time for those updates. That, boys and girls, is a fermenting batch of my first all grain. Yes, at long last I done the bloody all grain. Come on, let's go on with this bloody Homebrew Wednesday lark. But anyway, I suppose we better get on with the weekly hop update. And yes, I've been to the auction. It's time for Norfolk Hillbillies weekly bargain section. Catch you in a minute. Time for the hop update. Sprouting a little bit more. Some more little ones down there. And this one, don't worry, it hasn't took over the car. The car's been moved. And now, even longer. And no, I still haven't found a home for it yet. It's going to cover my trailer instead. But number 1 son's on the case. He should be doing the framework this week. Famous last words. And the other guy is here. And that's the other one. which is coming along. Time to show you some more bargains. Yeah, I managed to pick a few demi-johns up from the auction. $38 big ones, 14 little ones. Got a bit of cleaning to do now. Also got these. Anyone after 60 litre fermenters? They do wasabi in a bit. Another packet of wasabi peanuts. So, anyway, if you want a demi-john, don't know where you'll find any. If you want a 60 litre fermenter, full one might be useful. Seems I can do a 70 litre. Well, the 70 litre pot. So I can push fairly close if I wanted to. And the good news is, while you were watching the other bit, wifey's not too impressed with an American IPA. So that means I'm safe. And number 2 son doesn't like it. Number 1 son, well, he'll drink any fucking thing. Waiting. Yeah, so at long last night, being Monday for me, I finally got in the brew shed and filled up the HLT with water, and I heated it up and added it into that box thing, and I put some grainy stuff in and left it for 90 minutes and drained it out and put some more water in and left that, drained that out. Then I thought I'd better put it in a pot and boil it. Then I added some yeast. And next week it'll turn into beer, hopefully. I came in today and checked it. No bubbly. Oh dear. That's not a good sign. Maybe it's too cold in here. But little adjustment with the lid rectified that. And if you can hear the faint bassy blub, it's fermenting. Don't know what it'll come out like. Don't really care. I had some grains left over that were open and chucked them in. Worked out the water, calculated that myself. Didn't bother with all the Bear Smiths and Brew Target. The more information you have, the more complicated things become sometimes. So it's a case of keep it simple, stupid. So I was working out the volume of water. Although to start with I thought, ooh, missed. I could go for a swim in here. But that's what it calculated out to, that I needed. And well, it seemed to work because I was aiming for 19 litres and I'm about that much over the 19 litre mark, or maybe even that, not a lot anyway. So it worked out fairly well. Done a 60-minute boil, 2 hop additions, 2 different hops. Chuck all that together in a short video ish, shortish, you know me, and bung that out probably after I've tagged this one all together. But, that's really it. No other acquisitions apart from a shitload of demi-johns, which means I've got a shitload of clean and dirty, scabby demi-johns out because it looks like they've probably done a clearance job, emptied the contents and left the tub in the bottom, and that's dried. So every one of those that you saw has been filled with water to soften them up. Some of them are worse than others. Plus they've been sitting outside for a week waiting for people to come along. I did manage to sell 4 while I was at the auction, so I've recouped nearly half my money that I paid for all of them by selling 4. This is not bad. So if I sell 3.2 more for the price I sell them at, I'll have paid for all of them. But I've kept a few myself because I sold the last lot I had, which I think was 18 of them and some pressure barrels, and that funded me pot, so I recouped my costs on these ones. Obviously these won't shoot out the door in a huge lot like the last lot, but that's the way we fund the brew. Well, not the brew shed because that's already built, but the brewing expeditions, I suppose, the grains, the kits, some of that comes from the profit made from the bits and pieces I wheel and deal in on beer related items, and the other things I wheel and deal in pay for me petrol, pay for me food, help pay for the house. Ducking and diving, wheeling and dealing. That's the way the hillbilly goes. But that's it, mates. Me old mateys. Nothing else to tell you. I haven't bought any other kits. Not a need to, really. I've got 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 kits plus wine plus some grape juice and some 1.5 litre cartons of apple juice. Ooh. Cider, hop cider. The other apple juice I had, which I was going to condense down for another little project, I was hoping to have a brewtastic weekend and literally fill 2 or 3 demi-johns and maybe a couple of FBs, but sorting out cars for sons and myself didn't help. I'm still looking for a van to replace mine, and I had the guy turn up who bought my van. So it was a bit hassle it down. We've done a little deal today, so I've had to sort of rush about once I've got home and move a ton load of stuff to sell a ride-on lawnmower. Then move it all back again, rearrange it, move some other stuff to make things easier. So I was a bit cream crackered by the end of today. So I needed this, even though it is time for coffee really, but I'll just pull another late one and have the coffee later. But that's it. I think I can't really ramble on pointlessly any longer than I already have. Well, I could do, but you've probably already unsubscribed. Anyway, talking of unsubscribing or subscribing, cheers and thank you to all those new subscribers who have joined me in the last 2 weeks. Several from Norway, Sweden, and all the other northern countries, which is bad, seeing I'm a northern folk. That's how Norfolk got its name. We are northern folk, so I could be a Viking too. Ooh, yes. Well, I could do the pillaging, plundering bit. Don't know about the raping. Bad back still. No. Anyway, cheers for all the new subscribers, wherever you may be. Cheers for those that comment, like, and subscribe. And bollocks to the odd one that does that. If you don't like it, fuck off. It's quite simple. Not that I get many of those, but, you know, just so you're quite clear on it, you know, if I don't like a programme on telly, I don't watch it. So, as we say over here, Foxtrot Oscar. Anyway, guys, big thank you to all of you. We are creeping very close to the 200 mark. And I think 2 weeks ago, or 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago, I don't bloody know. Anyway, it wasn't long ago that it was 100. And then it was 150, and I thought, bloody hell. And now it's getting near 200, and I think Ben's just passed the 300 mark, and I think Big CQ's not probably far off getting to 1,000. So, you know, it just shows this whole community of brewing enthusiasts, or just the people that are interested in brewing and watch, not just the guys that like us that put a video out, but there's more of us that watch than produce a video. Because, you know, there is nothing else out there. I know the Americans have got Brew Your Own magazine and several other magazines, but we have web forums. Obviously there's Tiny and Kesbar and Justin have set up Bubbles and Chalk with Chubby as well. Obviously Gashlug's got Cellar Dwellers, there's various others. There's another guy in England called the Shed Brewer, the Brewing Shed. He's got a website in the UK which he's done entirely off his own back, I think. So you know, there's a few forums, but you know, England is lacking. I think Bear Lover 1983 said there's no magazine. There's no beer magazine, there's no Homebrew magazine, there's the Camera magazine, but there is nothing you know, hobby specific. Maybe if, you know, the magazine producing companies realise there is a big enough following, then they'll produce something. Obviously it's down to advertising, because that's how they make their money. But who knows what the future will bring. It's obviously that there is a big interest again in homebrewing, like there was in the 70s. I know from where I work, they're not expanding the homebrew side, but they are putting more kits on stock. They're ordering more of the brew firm kits, because it does, even now they've sort of said to me last week when I was up there that certainly there's more people buying kits, so obviously there is more interest in brewing. And with there now being internet, I mean, when I started brewing there was no internet. I was literally brewing on birthday money, and well, I didn't get pocket money. Out the violins. Yeah, but I mean, I started brewing at 15 back in 84, a long while ago. And there was nothing. There was no magazines, mail order. I mean, I'd never heard of mail order. You know, if there was other brewing type home survival, home living sort of things that may have had some small mail order company, but yeah, obviously the internet has brought on brewing as much as many other things, and hopefully it will continue. Obviously, you know, the great brewing community there is just on YouTube alone, with you know, is expanding. All of us are getting new subscribers. I know certain, you know, we've all subscribed to one another, and you know, there is a sort of saturation point, but there still seems to be other people coming in and showing an interest, which is good, I guess. You know, it's good for us, it's good for obviously the business, the industry. So who knows where it will be in another few years' time. I mean, I never thought back when I first started brewing, you just couldn't buy grains and burners and pots and elements to convert electric kettles and things. It was, you know, a plastic food grade barrel, a spoon, a siphon pipe, and that was it. That's what I started with. And you know, a bag of table sugar and a kit, and away you went. You bought some homebrew bottles, or you managed to scrounge your food from your local pub, and that was it when I started. But things have obviously moved forward since then. Not probably as good as for us in the UK. I don't know how other countries in Europe fare. I mean, that's why I was hoping there would be more European brewers, although I'm British and I'm one of the old school British that, you know, Britain's over here and Europe's there. Britain's Britain, Europe's Europe, and there's all different countries in Europe, and Britain's over there, you know, at the EU. But I'm still interested in, the homebrew scene, what kits are available in Norway, what kits are available in Germany, and Sweden, and Denmark. The world seems to survive on Coopers. Everywhere you go in the world you can buy a Coopers homebrew kit or a Munton's. But it's nice to see what else, like New Zealand has Blackrock, and I've got access to some of their kits, fortunately, but not every homebrew shop stocks those kits. But there are obviously a lot of other kits probably produced in Europe that we're not aware of, that aren't available over here. So it's nice to be able to see those guys brewing their kits. I have managed to locate a website in Germany that have several kits. They also do an all-grain kit. See, I've managed to waffle on another 10 minutes talking shit, I'm good, I? Talking kits and, kits and shit. Anyway, German site. They do their branded kits wherever they're from, and they also do all-grain packages, so that you can just buy a pack of Belgian Abbey style beer and brew it up, and away you go. And they've got, so I thought, I'll order some bits from them, because the postage wasn't out of the world, and they also had Cornelius kegs reasonably cheap, and brew kettles and accessories and those little washers you put around the Grolsch bowls and things like that. And I registered on there and put through everything on the checkout screen, and couldn't proceed past country of origin to get a postage rate. So they've got a UK version of their website, but they stock half what's available on the German website, even though the German website does have the little language Union Jack click and the whole site goes to English. They have an English version of the website, which is an entirely different site, and it only has probably half the equipment that's available on the other site. But you can order from the UK, or within, it still comes from Europe, but it was a bit of a pain, because I was going to get one of those 70 litre pots for €29, which is considerably cheaper than they are over here, and all the guys that sell them over here are buying them from over there. So where they're getting it from I don't know, but hey ho. Anyway, I've probably BS'd for another 10 minutes now. I'm gonna let you go. You're probably bored. I'm bored with myself, and I haven't finished my glass, and I'm still thirsty, and I've still got to make the missus her cocoa. I'm gonna bugger off. Catch you later, guys.